Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Sunday Spin. My name is Vinny G. I'm coming at you from the 6-4. This week and every week, the Sunday Spin is brought to you by our fantastic sponsors, the record stores, none better than Grooves Records in the 415, San Francisco, California. That's our friend Kevin Chanel. Of course, the sexy Ostro Brothers in the 719. That's What's Left Records. They're open today. And I know the weather's been a little crazy, but I also know it's a very special occasion in the 719 because my man, Reno, is another year older, sexy as ever. Reno, happy birthday, brother.
Thanks, man. It's great to have another opportunity to have a trip around the sun, third stone from the sun, as they say. And oh my gosh, it just Laura. Hey, that's show business, right?
Yeah. Props to the prop department.
The woman over my shoulder. But anyways, yeah, Vinny, great to be with you. And that aforementioned 8-album compilation series there by Laura Nero was brought to me by my best friend here, Mr. Vinny G.
And slightly used. I'm sure you're going to get all the enjoyment out of it you did before it took the tumble.
Right?
I'm sure Laura's fine. I don't think there's much to worry about, Greta. How was your day?
It's in perfect condition. Oh, my day was great, man. Thank you for asking. Yep, doing fine. No, it was wonderful. My daughter Alex made me breakfast, so a wonderful French toast breakfast, and then got some great gifts from friends and family. Wonderful shout outs, on the social media and the texts and the phone calls, and just couldn't be a happier, luckier guy, to have a great day like that. And then, it snowed. So it was like Christmas and birthday on the same day in May. So it was kind of interesting and fun. Got to listen to some music and, man, folks like yourself bestowed some wonderful gifts on me. So I do appreciate it. And I am really excited about today's show, Vin.
So am I. Yeah, I guess it's long overdue in my opinion. Tell us all about him, G.
Oh, man, this guy, he's doing so much for the community each and every day. We're going to bring in Mr. Mark White from KCOS Digital Media in just a moment. But before I do, man, I just want to say this guy's worked so hard, pounding the pavement, getting music out to people, organizing community events, fundraisers, benefits, all types of things. And proud to call him not only a cohort in the entertainment media world, but also a friend. Let's bring in right now Mr. Mark White.
Hello, Mark. Welcome aboard.
Gentlemen, what a pleasure it is to do this with you guys.
Great to see you, my friend. Absolutely, man. We're really excited to have you on the show. Welcome to the Sunday Spin, day after birthday edition.
Yes, happy 50th, man. That's a major milestone,
Thank you. Yeah, it's
long past that myself, but
hey, man, we're all doing what we can to keep it going. So, and music's a big part of vitality and moving forward and being strong in life. And you're providing a lot of that for the Colorado folks. But before we get into KCOS Digital Media and the wonderful things that you do, and folks, if you're curious too, before we get into that, go to the website right there, just at the bottom, and check it out. Lots of great things going on. Wonderful radio programming, community events. Mark's got it all going on. But Mark, before we start into that, Vinny and I always want to know your first musical memory.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a really different one, more than you're probably used to hearing. But actually, I was pulled out of a fifth grade class by my teacher, who also went to my church, and said, guess what? I mean, it was a music portion of the day. And he says, guess what? You're going to be part of the adult church choir at our church at 8 years old.
Wow.
I was blessed with a good voice for a while. And I worked it, just like we all have to use our opportunities, right? But I've been involved in some capacity with music ever since then, really.
8 years old, Vinny. Isn't that awesome?
It really is. And, we don't get, Mark, we don't get a whole lot of guests who mention the initial being, a religious form, a form of celebration. And I don't want that lost on the story. I think that's hugely important to go in with that positive kick that you get from your neighborhood church. What I'm curious about is, have you seen any kind of a correlation over these great many years since your start at the age of 8 to where you are now musically?
And this is probably why I really concentrate on what we're doing. And I'm really proud of the fact that 60% of our listeners to KCOS are international. So this, by being in a church choir, and it was a Lutheran church, so there was a fair amount of classical hymns and, the way that it was conducted. I was on a business trip in Ottawa, Canada, probably 1995. And I went there in 2 seasons, January and July. So, January, imagine Ottawa, Canada in January. It was freezing. I had a little Toyota Corolla rental car. I drove to Montreal for the day, stayed a little too late, drove back at night. It was a frickin' blizzard. And I had to drive like 35 miles an hour, 90 minutes to get back to Ottawa. And the only thing on the radio was an AM radio station that had Russian choral music. And it was that really strong, it was big, huge choir with their, Russian oppressive storytelling kind of celebration, like you were saying, Vinny. But it was like, wow, that happens in Russia probably every day. But it was really interesting because you never know where you're going to find some inspiration. And music definitely, not only is it orally exciting, it's mentally stimulating because people that really get involved in music learn all about the structure, the composition, the tonality. We're into it, whether I can sing still or not anymore. uh, I know it, so I guess that's the character building gist of that, right, Vinny?
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely.
It's great.
I really was surprised in talking with Greno and you affirming this afternoon for us, Mark, which I appreciate. Is the worldwide reach that you're getting, which I find fascinating as a guy who's been working just like Greno all these years. You sometimes forget the big picture that the World Wide Web is the World Wide Web.
Well,
So
True.
if I could ask you, Mark, because it's I'm sure it's a question Greta would like to ask too, is the most remote place that you've gotten an email, a thank you from, since you've started at KCOS?
well, okay, so this is not traditional, in any way, shape, or form. And I used to fondly remember the Goldroom shows, call it my science project, because it's what it is. I just turn it on, let it go. Um, the broadcast software that I use is from France. So I don't know if that's any correlation to distribution or not, but they have great analytics in the back end that I look at and marvel, because, yeah, I think 206 countries have, IP received KCOS.
Wow.
You name the country, and there's only a couple in probably deep dark Africa that haven't tuned in, which is very surprising and very regularly too. You know, but the analytics that no one's really sent emails. There's been reviews on the Facebook page. I get a lot of solicitations from record labels like Anonymous Collective all over consistently, but it's just a crapshoot really of how that diversity has become KCOS faithful. You know, I have a hard time sometimes thinking who's really listening, you know? And if I look at the broadcaster anytime, you know, and see the number of listeners, I'll either, you know, you have that reaction. I don't know what you guys, you're probably worldwide too, right? But
We're trying.
We're trying, yeah, yeah. We're not to the same magnitude as you, sir, but
well, we just put this out. You know, we're a nonprofit to support the independent music of Colorado. And then Sunday we have the worldwide blues format because I was a Colorado a blues photographer for a long time before starting this. But the most things that we get traffic on, Vinny, to answer your question, I deviate too much, but we have a group page. It's called the Colorado Music Network on KCOS Digital Media. It's a long name because someone else has got the short name, but it's a membership site. It's a group page. So I get invitations in the scores from all over the world, uh, predominantly Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, Korea. Um, we're loved, I guess, in the Occidental world, Oriental world. We're in the Occidental, but even Russia, South America always wants to join the group, and I kind of try to do the social media due diligence about protecting the group. I've never been hacked, thank God, but you just have to do some of that stuff. If I would have accepted everybody, we'd probably be twice as big as we are. But I love what we do. I mean, I'm so surprised, so blessed with a feeling of accomplishment when I don't know Benny, if you know my real story. I had a career for 38 years that got canceled by throat cancer. So I had to figure out what to do again. And this is what I do.
It's an amazing story, Mark.
yeah, an incredible achievement for sure. Yeah. And that's what we do. We adapt. And it's a marvelous story, Mark. It really is. And congratulations. There's no other word. Look at where you're sitting now.
Yeah, but I'm sitting with two greats. I mean, you guys have got the history too for all that you've been doing. Okay, yeah. Who's that behind you?
Thank you.
No, I mean, everyone, we're all so modest, right?
Hey, that's why we keep doing it each and every day. It's what makes it fruitful. If we got so many people with expectations looking over our shoulders, that just kills our creative, instinct and urges. And so no, we do it indie and we do it right every single day. And I just want to say I love being a part of the KCOS team. And I'm just curious how it all kind of coalesced, Mark. I think we all are. You guys have been going strong for a number of years now. And in addition to the great radio play that you're doing, you're also doing community events. So maybe speak to a little bit of that and how that works. And I know you've done, benefits for some of the hurricanes and things like that. So just want to say much appreciated. And also, yeah, kind of maybe delve into that for some of the Sunday Spin viewers today.
Well, I would like to say it was a whole big media concept, and we went in right away strong with everything we got to blow out the industry, right? It didn't happen that way. It basically, it's my cancer recovery story. After 2011, I was a photographer before that, doing a lot of work in the blues community, and felt that was therapy to do in recovery to post pictures finally. Once again, a photographer, it's like a gardener. The gardener's house is always a wreck, but it gave me time to accomplish a little bit of things. I did photo work and then I did video work, starting a YouTube channel, and then talking to some local friends that weren't very good at social media, I said, hey, I got nothing but time. Let me start this group page. So, pages started, and I started in 2015 just getting out uh, networking. And I ran into a guy that had another internet radio station, and he was an owner of a coffee shop in town. So he wanted to do live music, and kind of what set me off in that direction. But I was booking his place, and he goes, "Well, what can I do for you? I don't have money to pay you. How about a radio show? How about a radio show?" I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. What am I going to do? So it logically got into how many musicians do you know that you booked, and friends and friends, and then it multiplied. Um, it was only an internet radio show for maybe 2 years before partners started coming in, and we started doing video work, and then we got into the live stream on Facebook work, and then it turned into the web in general. Uh, and then in 2016, yeah, 2 short years, we ended up in the Gold Room, downtown Colorado Springs, and it was time to take advantage of such a great place. And it was just another blessing that we had all this capability back in before we started. So we weren't doing the experimentation during that. Um, and we booked bands, well, 256 shows since 2016, and
Wow.
COVID ended it March 2020. And I had 6 months in advance booked then, and it was all due to the gracious nature of the great bands and musicians in Colorado Springs, El Paso County, and even Colorado. We had people come from Grand Junction and Fort Collins to do a 2-hour show, and we gave them a digital EPK. I didn't have money to pay anybody, and we had to pay a little bit to the Gold Room for the sound guy, but all this turned out, like I say, COVID killed it, and we said, we're going to keep going because we were doing really nice live streaming at various venues in town, Sunshine Studios Live and Stargazers, as well as the Gold Room, and the old Rocks Bar. So we got to develop a live streaming capability mobile, which right now, I don't think anybody else does it, to tell you the truth. There's live streaming at fixed locations, but anywhere there's internet, we go in, and that's where somebody's feet, the dog, she wants a cameo. But no, the benefits started early. We started doing benefits for different causes. We helped the autism community with the Help Autism Center. We did a couple of shows for them. We did the Hug It Forward group, which does bottle schools building in Guatemala, which unfortunately stopped with COVID. But any cause that we wanted to get exposure to, we said we'd do it. So we did, the first 3 years was like we did everything for free, and paid for it all ourselves. But thank God, internet broadcasting and all this stuff is not, really expensive. And so you can make it what you want with all the enhancements that we do. And, we got some regular working stuff now. This year, I'm really proud after, uh, 3 years. This year, we're going to be doing the Emma Crawford coffin races in Manitou, October 29th. We're
Wow.
the only company that's ever live streamed, and this will be the third year for that great thing that we do with the city of Manitou and the chamber there. We also have done Pikes Peak Ascent and Marathon for 2 or 3 years. Um, we have a recurring date it's called Blues and Barbecue for Habitat for Humanity, up in Denver. This year will be the 25th, I believe, and we'll be doing that July 19th. Lots of great things happening. We still, we're on the list for whenever Sunshine wants to hire people, or we do project videos for bands. We got to make it worth our while, though, to do the whole lineup, not just one. But we're expanding. We started doing Gold Hill Mesa, which is a great housing development out in Colorado City. They hired us to stream their summer music concert series.
Wow.
And that runs from June 9th until, well, October 1st is the second annual Blues on the Mesa, right there at Gold Hill Mesa. That's being announced, so we'll be doing that. And we're just lucky to, when you go, hey, I'll do that, people listen, right? And then you get locked in this stuff, and all of a sudden it starts working out. So we have went from doing any and everything for any reason for free. We're actually getting some funds in. We got to really thank the people that do the donations too. We're a nonprofit; it's tax deductible, but along with the radio station formats, we cater to basically any genre of music. All Colorado music all the time is what we say.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's a fantastic mixture.
I love it.
too. Yeah, and at the same time, though, I want to give you a lot of credit, Mark, because it's not confusing to be a listener to KCOS.
Oh
It
man.
really isn't. I mean, first off, yeah, you advertise well, very well. I don't think you over advertise or under advertise. You're there, and I always know what's going on, frankly, by checking my app, which I think is very
Right.
important as well, right? If you have the app, all you got to do is hit the button.
That's right.
But-
Check the bottom of your screen, people, right now.
Yeah, there it is. Sure. But it is a tremendous mix, and I do love the versatility of the different shows. You have a tremendous amount of talent. That being said, I would love to hear the story of Greno's Grooveyard and how KCOS came to be involved with that, because needless to say, it's my favorite show, Mark.
Well, it is mine too, really, because the quality of the music of the Anonymous Collective, I regularly say nobody's playing this kind of music.
True.
Us. And here again, it's always, Reno, it's an open invitation. I want to expand the format to get more music in rotation after the show. But I understand your concept. But really, I've come to become friends with most of the people that we play. That is why it's such a special relationship, too. And it was easy to segregate into formats. The first thing was, wow, we got to fill 24/7 worth of music,
Yeah.
Put everything in there, everything. And we did. I think I've only rejected maybe a half a dozen things for really being stupid or explicit. And I'm sorry to say stupid, but
Yeah.
there's some people with recorders, man. Uh, we're all for independent music and free thinking and composition and free speech, the whole works. I mean, this is what the internet's supposed to be about. That we do things that other commercial entities can't do. I don't know why. But Greno's Grooveyard, I met Reno. I'm still not used to calling you that, brother.
No, I know a lot of people aren't. It's all good.
I know, but we met, when he was playing with a band on my show, and we loved the band Menagerie, right?
Yeah.
It was one of our. I said, you can come back every year. You guys were so good. The music was so great. Everybody needs to get the music wherever it's downloadable or procurable. But so Reno mentioned that to me a long time ago with the very first show. I do this, I do that, and I'm going, okay. I'm not really ready to process it yet, but everything's in here, man. Back of the mind. And, because of my career, I was a planner. I always have the 5 to 10-year goals, believe it or not, still. And everything really basically is fitting into context of those goals. So, whatever got Grandma to say, yeah, man, let's do it. Thank God. So,
Thank God, indeed.
counterpoint is going to come from him too, right? I want to hear that story.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, for me, I remember, meeting Mark and the crew at the Gold Room. Did wonderful, interactive. What they did too was wonderful. Vinny, do a live concert, but intersperse it with interview questions for the entire band. So it brings in the audience, brings in interactive aspects, people watching online.
The human element.
Yes, and the
Well,
Gold Room itself is just a wonderful venue. It was such an honor to be able to play there a few times, and met Mark that way, and we discussed some preliminary things about maybe working together with the Anonymous Collective, and KCOS, and it just kind of in the last, we're going on this show coming up tomorrow is going to be my half year show, so 26 episodes, so super proud of that. And by the way, tomorrow it's album sides. So you're going to hear album sides from the Lemon Limes, the Skinny Mulligans, Glass Parade, and Local Flight. But anyway, so about 9 months ago, Mark and I kind of started to email back and forth again and kind of get things going. And I got really excited. And I was a little nervous at first because, again, like Mark was saying with starting the station, you have to have content. Anyone can just open up shop and say, oh, I'm going to do a podcast or I'm going to do a station. But you got to have substance. You got to have content. So I had to look deeply at the catalog because the Anonymous Collective has been around about 10 years, but the first 5 years was just mostly Greno, myself, solo stuff. Albums I'd done with my kids, Squeaky and the Futures, and some projects I did with Anthony Davis and friends. Which shout out to Anthony, Hip Bone, we love you. And so, but I realized I do have a lot of good material. Thanks for people like Vinny working so hard, pounding the pavement, working on new music, Prefab Soul, Rick, our entire roster just stepped up, and we realized, this is a great time for the label to just kind of revamp itself. And so Greno's Grooveyard's been a big part of that. Mark, I want to thank you so much. It's been so fun. And to be a part of a nonprofit that does the things that you guys do on a daily basis is just an honor. So we're getting bigger. We're thinking, every day about new things we can do with the Grooveyard. So thank you both, because knowing that people dig the show just makes me want to make it even better. So.
And I think it's so important to reiterate too that KCOS and the Grooveyard has opened doors for us to be heard in other places.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily think that would have happened as quickly as it did, to the level that it did, without both of you. So really, I'm the one that's grateful, to be honest with you. It put a different spin on things, no pun intended, it being Sunday.
I love it. Man, hey, lots of appreciation to go around. And that's what makes all this so much fun, and so much the work of it is fun, because we love what we do and we do what we love. And that's the most important thing. That's what translates. That's why folks are tuning in different countries, and to hear, get that feedback from Mark, which I have a few times now. It's exhilarating to know that people in other countries are accessing some great music here in Colorado, folks that aren't selling millions of records maybe yet, folks that maybe are just kind of on the cusp, or folks like Anonymous Collective that we're just making music. We just want to make great music, and if people enjoy it, that's wonderful. That's all we care about.
And if I take anything from the next 30 minutes, away for the rest of my life, it's going to be what Mark said. This is what the internet should be used for.
Yes.
What a tremendous statement. It's so true. I turn on my computer and I pass all the misery and had a belly full of it. That's just me. Some people are very in touch with those things. More power to them. I'm always going to reroute myself to the sunny side and try to be around some positivity. And no truer words could have been said, Mark. I applaud you for that statement. It's just an amazing statement. It's what the internet should be used for. You're so right.
It's great. It's so true, Vinny. And Mark, you're an inspiration to so many folks, man. I hope you know that. And not just ourselves, but our entire anonymous collective roster, all the folks that you work with and collaborate with KCOS Digital Media. Folks, make sure you go to kcosdigitalmedia.com. It's a nonprofit. You can help promote them. You can go to community events. You can do all types of things. You can subscribe to their wonderful YouTube page. They've got so many good things going on. You can donate money. That's a great way too. Put your money where your mouth is, as Vinny and I like to say. But also, just for the folks that aren't able to access the show live today, subscribe to Technicolor Dreams YouTube channel, folks. And great programming, great videos too, Vinny. There's some cool videos on there.
It's a smorgasbord of entertainment. You're absolutely right. Where else can your entertainment dollar go further, Greno? That's what I'd like to know.
Exactly. So you got your kcosdigitalmedia.com. You got your Technicolor Dreams, all kinds of great things going on in the community. And Mark, man, we feel like you're really at the centerpiece of that. Why don't you let us know? So it's Sunday. So what's going on the airwaves today? You mentioned it's All Day Blues, correct?
Yeah, it is the Worldwide Blues format, and that's usually, well, it is sectionalized. Midnight to noon is international blues, judging from the responsiveness of the thing. Yeah, I used to support the International Blues Challenge as a photographer in Memphis every year, and they have like 300 blues bands from all over the world. And it's not a competition, it's a challenge. So it makes everybody feel really good about it. But you see how people, once again, from all over the world interpret the blues format. And, we try to capture that. Once again, I try to get as much music from these challengers, that probably don't get a lot of airplay anywhere else either, but it adds to the staples of, the National Blues touring people that I've shot and photographed for the last 20 years. I have a great relationship with so many of these blues musicians that, we're invested once again in this genre. And it's a wide variety from the beginnings of the Delta Blues. I've got recordings from 1910 in rotation all the way to, the current crop of the national touring bands. And then from noon to midnight, it's purely Colorado blues. And people go, Colorado blues. Once again, at the IBC, there's basically 5 blues societies in Colorado. And they all do these international blues challenges to take people to Memphis to compete at the national level. And with 5 blues societies coming to Memphis, most people are going, wow, Colorado is not that big of a state, but you've got 5 societies with submittals. So we have a lot of really great blues in Colorado, running the spectrum again from acoustic to full-blown electric. And people don't realize I'm playing right now. The count is about 90 different blues bands in Colorado.
Unreal.
And so that's more than enough to fill up a 12-hour format too. And the nature of the broadcast software is, I love it. It's a random shuffle. Okay, so that's why I've really sectionalized the formatting of the station into the genres that we do. But so when I load a CD from any band, I load the whole thing. So in the life of KCOS, and we plan on living forever, that CD and every song on it is going to be played in rotation someday, just like every other, when we get CDs, that's what we do. But
what an interesting concept. That's amazing.
Well, you hear how many repeats on any given radio station in the FM world during a day.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh, that's why they had to invent those push buttons, right?
I know, yeah. But with KCOS, I've got the software set. You won't hear the same song for. You won't hear a repeat of that song for 6,000 hours if you can put hours into a context. So the other context, okay, we got an annual report from Radio King, and we were just short of 1 million hours of listening time. How can you fathom that?
yeah.
I can't, man. I flunked algebra 3 times.
Well,
Beside
me
the point.
too.
I know it's a pretty big number. It's got a lot of zeros in it, right, G?
Well, yeah, 1 million hours in that 60-minute increments. Yeah, I don't get it. When there are a lot of bands now using Spotify or something like that. Oh, we got 1 million hits. Okay, I don't know how to equate 1 million listening hours to 1 million hits. I might try it, but I don't know. Space-time continuum. But yeah, every Sunday, and we interject different things too that are only specific to KCOS, because I've been lucky enough to be a videographer for Blues from the Top, Really Blues Jam, Blues Under the Bridge, a whole lot of blues events in Colorado that we cut and paste clips, and Saturday is our live music day. It's 24 hours live recorded tracks. But the blues day is we throw in live stuff. We throw in specials of, oh, okay. So locally, we had a blues guy named John Alex Mason. Do you remember him, Brennan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He was like one of the people were so fond of him. He was actually cast into the national spotlight too. Tragically, he passed. And he's got like 4 or 5 albums, plus a tribute album that a lot of national blues artists put together. We play that in rotation as a commemorative to past performers of Colorado music. We're not just a top 40 hits kind of station. We're like a historical record of the music of Colorado. If someone wants to give us something that they recorded in the 80s, if it's sonically possible, we'll play it. So
Yeah.
I mean we have gotten so many people going, hell, hey, play my music. Can I send you a track? And it's like, no, send me a CD. Really? I'm not really schooled in advertisement, so I don't know how to. I took one marketing class in my degree program, but marketing is like, hey, will this work? If you're full of ideas, you should be able to, I don't know, pick a thing. You guys are doing it.
And we're grateful for your help, because I don't think we would be as successful as we've been in these last couple of years without the support of KCOS. There's no question in my eyes. So I want to thank you, Mark, because obviously I've been a big fan for a long, long time, and I've waited a long time to say thank you.
Oh man.
I
See,
mean
this
that.
is the unexpected pleasures of doing the things that you love to do. You hear, the first time I've seen you, I've just seen your correspondence on Facebook, just since the life of the show. But wow, you've been checking up on us for that long. I'm honored. I am
Oh,
amazed. I
yeah, I've been
really
a
am.
fan for a long, long time before the Groove Yard.
It's true.
This
But
was
what a
one.
great home for the Groove Yard.
Oh man,
Good
it'll
stuff.
always be there. Yeah,
Truly. But we are grateful, Mark. We really are. Thank you very much.
you
Yeah.
know, with your, I almost went to see you guys at Vultures the other night, Glass Parade.
Yeah, Glass Parade.
Something happened. Oh, something always happens, but
Oh, it's
I
all
want,
good.
I want to get out and see you guys.
Yeah, we're playing at Stargazers on August 19th, opening up for Chuck's band again.
Fabulous.
We're gonna have to talk offline about stuff, okay?
Yeah.
And I did mention to Brian too. I had what's left. this is a great time to get together once again. You know, everybody, instead of doing individual things, let's collaborate. Let's share our medium, you
Yep.
know, and just look how exciting it's turning out to be, right?
Oh, it's
Indeed.
This is a great
Indeed.
year.
so much.
Yeah.
It's
And that's always been our language too, Mark Reno and I, is, if it's working, bring everybody you love and admire in with you.
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
And that's another thing you've done, Mark. You've brought talented people like Mike Friend Greno here and given them that opportunity, which has helped so many people on down that line, because that's the way my best friend is.
Likewise.
No one more so than me, though. So again, Mark, from the bottom of my heart, we really appreciate everything you're doing for us and what you're doing for, our listeners in Colorado, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. The community at large. Yeah. Mark.
Well, it was just a part of how do I keep from getting really bored in retirement, right? You
Right.
know, I didn't expect to be retired so early in life, but everything's working out, just
Oh,
fine. And if I can help anybody do anything, I'm usually there. We just started collaborating with the Pikes Peak Blues community again. So we're going to be doing things with them, like their Paint the Town Blue summer series that goes Thursday nights, June to end of July at parks in town. And who knows? We would like to get back into doing shows. With our streaming capability, we're looking for venues, that would be willing to do things like a KCOS Grano Fest. I don't know. What do you want to call it?
go. Let's do it. I'm ready. Absolutely about to get with our friends, the Ostro brothers, the Booker
There you go.
extraordinaire in this town. All more folks just like us working hard in the community just to make it work. So yeah, we want to give you a chance, Mark, as we always do. It's been a wonderful show, and to give any shout outs that you would like to do. You've done it very eloquently throughout the show, always giving people credit and deflating the wonderful things that you do because in your humble nature. But yeah, let's give you a moment to any shout outs, your pup that we heard earlier, or any of the people that make things go well for you each and every day.
Well, first and foremost, you can't do anything by yourself. And I've been so lucky, so blessed to have so many really incredible individuals that have all put into what is KCOS. This is by no means the Mark White show. There's been people, some people come and go. We love them for what they do. Um, Everybody's got something else to do, but when they come together to build what we've done, in the phases that we've worked, um, everybody has just been golden. You all the people that we've worked with here in Colorado Springs. I already said we did 256 shows at the Gold Room.
Yeah.
And like I say, Stargazer, Sunshine Studios, other places. Uh, Pueblo, gosh, we just started working with another old friend uh, at the Blue Cactus Listening Room, which is part of the El Nopal restaurant in Pueblo. They're starting to do shows, open mics. Pueblo needs to get something like that working for them. We're going to come down. There's Pikes Peak Blues community artists going down to play every once in a while. We've got great support in the Denver area. Once again, we've worked at the venue. Michael Martinez and the owners of the venue have just been stellar. We worked there during the pandemic when it was just closed sets, and everybody was still wearing masks. But we did broadcasts, for the entertainment and keep the bands and music going.
Yeah.
We just did, that like I said, the Blues Festival And we're going to do it again for Blues and Barbecue for Humanity, Habitat for Humanity. But that was a 10-hour broadcast from a park. We used the internet from the elementary school. It just, things fall together.
That's so
It's supposed to happen.
It really is.
You
That
know, I mean, to
really
do a
is.
stream on YouTube, I'm sorry with the hands. I'm not Italian, but you know, to do a stream on the YouTube channel, and then we use Restream to rebroadcast to other URLs for the charities and the people that in the organizations. We do put it on Facebook Live, and we even broadcast it on the station. So all these proofs of concept were possible because of all the great people that granted us the opportunity to do stuff for them. You know, Andy Burkott at the Oriental Theater just brought us in to do a couple of benefits. One for the, you know, the unfortunate shootings for the tattoo parlor and spillover, and then the Marshall Fire. What a great place the Oriental Theater is. I've been shooting out of there for, you know, about 10 years, and, you know, just now being able to stream shows out of there, we've really, I don't know, matured. I don't know, what do you want to say about it? We've just been recognized, you know, and it's really fulfilling beyond belief, you know, and we're willing to do even more. My partner, Nathan, you know, he's a software programmer for Oracle by day. Guy's a genius. He does all the technical stuff. All the stuff is possible because of him. And, you know, I work the business stuff, not to say how successful that's been, but, you know, we're not shut down or banned from anything. So I guess we're doing okay. It's, you know, I have a long career in business, and it's just a different business. What I think happened after my career collapsed after cancer, I had to go back and prove it again. I could do it somewhere else, you know? So whatever anyone has to say about it, God bless them, you know? Because I'm just a guy, you know, trying to do what I need to do.
I love it.
You know,
He's more than just a guy. He's a musical humanitarian, Grano.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mark.
Oh, my pleasure.
What an enlightening 40 minutes, huh, Grano? I learned so much.
So I did too. And it's just inspirational to have someone like Mark on, you know, someone that fought cancer. And Mark, we really, you know, admire your journey and your perseverance and your positivity, because we know that those are big components into healing. And man, we're just so happy that you're still with us, man, and we're able to do great things, and we're going to do wonderful things here in the future. So again, folks, seek out kcosdigitalmedia.com. And we've got a little show called The Groove Yard on Mondays, and that's going to be at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Each and every week, we're able to play some music that you won't hear anywhere else on the airwaves. And that's what's cool and exciting and fun, especially for artists. My roster is like so stoked on, you know, the music getting out. And also the Friends of the Anonymous Collective show is such a great avenue for folks that we know all around the country. Your Sweet Nothings, your Talking Hours, your Miles the Masters, you know, Rick, all of our Fez Records, Jug Band, you know, our friends in Berlin, people, Skip Grasso in Baltimore, all types of people making music. And it's just, it's so easy to get on there and celebrate each and every week. So thank you guys. And I want to do one of our #1 fan and listeners did a little birthday shout out. So I want to shout out much love to KMG.
Okay.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And she's one of our faithful, and also a legend of the 64.
Yes, sir.
Love you, KMG. And Mark, we love you, man. You're just a tremendous person with so many things going on. Like, we could do an hour show and we wouldn't be able to fill all the things that KCOS is doing for this community at large. So again, thank you for our collective Sunday Spin hearts. And
thank you.
We just want to say to you, I want to let you both know that. So album side Monday next week, but the week after we got Memorial Day weekend, and I know KCOS has always got some great programming going to be for you for that weekend. That following Memorial Day will be Big Rock Action Monday.
Oh,
That's right. That's right. So all your
we don't just toss that word about willy-nilly either.
No.
So it's going to be huge.
Big Rock Action Monday. So folks from the Anonymous Collective, friends, it's going to be a blockbuster show. Going to have a lot of fun. Fire up the grill and it's just, you know what I mean? It's going to be one of those types of shows. So really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Sunday Spin each and every week. Vinny, you made my birthday so special, my brother. I was aghast. And in fact, when I opened this wonderful gift right here, Vinny hooked up a few wonderful things. But this box set right here brought tears to my eyes. Lauren Darrow is one of the most underrated, beautiful songwriters of all time. I hate when people say, yeah, she's one of the best female. It's just,
it needs no adjectives. You're right. She's one of the best, period.
For all of my female sisters out there, the great musicians and songwriters, and there's so many. No, it's not it's girl power, but great music is great music. And
you know that one day we are going to end up sitting on Laura Nero's stoops. That's been one of our goals for a long time. If we ever make it to the Apple. She's an angel in my world. And when her son was able to accept her Hall of Fame, I guess recognition or whatever after she had died, what a wonderful moment for that family. And then, so many people know her music just through other artists, the Fifth Dimension and people like that. And for my money, man, her original recordings of her songs are just incredibly, they dwarf any positive, the other stuff's good, but I'm always partial to my girl, Laura. And, Vinny, she jammed with. I know. All I have to say is happy birthday, and you deserve it, brother. Mark, we appreciate you so much. Thank you, guys. And it's been a really special show for all of us. Join us next week. Don't really know who our guest is going to be yet. We got some scheduling things to work out, but Sunday Spin will be back because we are enjoying season 4 so much. And we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. If you don't catch us live, you got your Facebook Live Sunday Spin page you can always access. And also, every episode is available on our Technicolor Dreams YouTube page. Thank you to Grooves Records. Thank you to Kevin Chanel. Happy birthday to him, too. Kevin's got a birthday coming. Happy birthday, Kev. And then also our sexy friends, the Ostro Brothers. Mark, I want to let you know, too, they're going to be doing some promos for the KCOS. So, yep, it's a Random Living Shred and Upon a Field's Whisper promos for the KCOS folks. And yeah, thanks again, you guys.
They're in rotation.
What's that?
They're in rotation.
Ow! We love it. Independent music, live on, Colorado Springs, Legends of the 64. We beckon you. Make great music each and every day. And please bring back the sunshine, Vinny, to Colorado. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. God, it was beautiful today, but oh, man. It's going to be back. You'll be here soon enough soaking in the sun, and I can't wait, brother. Absolutely. We'll see you guys. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Sunday Spin each and every week, baby.
Nice meeting you, Vinny. Thank you, Grano, my brother.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. KCOS Digital Media. Wonderful man.
Happy birthday.